Artificial intelligence. Is it possible that humanity is finally creating its slave master? And if you are a Christian, then are we saying that artificial intelligence is going to be the vehicle of the enemy of our souls to finally set us and our world completely on fire? Let's get into it here at 180 Truth.
We must face the moment of truth, baby.
I'm so glad that you are here. I am Dr. Honorio Chaparro, and I want to just go through some of the headlines with regards to the artificial intelligence. If you have been living under a rock, or you are really committed to not paying attention to the news, then maybe you haven't heard all the fuss for the past several months. So I'm grateful that you are here. Please hit the like, subscribe. Let's go ahead. I want to actually first go through some headlines, quickly comment, and then wrap it up at the end for what and why I think perhaps that artificial intelligence can either represent our better angels or the worst of us as a human species. Come on, family, let's get into it here at 180 Truth. So the first thing I want to do is I want to be fair, right? I want to be fair. What are some of the advantages to artificial intelligence? I think you can probably imagine them. You have probably seen a few science fiction TV episodes or movies, and maybe they actually talked about artificial intelligence. You know, we ought not to be surprised that oftentimes what we've imagined in the past comes to pass in our present. So let's take a look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of artificial intelligence. Nikita Dugal here, representing Simply Learn. Simply Learn? Well, simplylearn.com. And there are a few advantages. But first, let's talk about what we mean by artificial intelligence, because right now there are three kinds of artificial intelligence. There's weak AI, which focuses on one task and cannot perform beyond its limitations. Common in our daily lives, a lot more common than we realize. Strong AI can understand and learn any intellectual task that a human being can. Researchers are striving to reach strong AI. Right now, we're experiencing something in between. If you've been on the open chat, GPT, if you've gone in and taken a look at any other kinds of artificial intelligence, AI, art, so then we have super AI, which surpasses human intelligence and can perform any task better than a human. This is still a concept, and you need to ask yourself, why would really intelligent people want to create this kind of a thing? Well, here's a clue. Intelligence has nothing to do with character. Intelligence has nothing to do with motivation. So let's continue. Advantages of artificial intelligence. Well, number one claim is reduction in human error. What's an example? An example of reduction in human error through AI is the use of robotic surgery systems, which can perform complex procedures with precision and accuracy, reducing the risk of human error and improving patient safety in healthcare. That sounds like a good thing, right? What about number two, zero risks? Another big advantage of AI is that humans can overcome many risks by letting AI robots do them for us. Here's an example. One example of a zero risks is a fully automated production line in a manufacturing facility. Robots perform all tasks, eliminating the risk of human error and injury in hazardous environments. Now, I know some of you are already thinking, where are the people that were working there going to go? That's been a long-standing question for a long time now, as technology and robotics have advanced in the arena of manufacturing. Number three, 24/7 availability. Wow. So who does that benefit, to have something and someone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week available for your service? An example of this is online customer support chatbots. Now, I don't know about you, But so far, I've hated those things, which can provide instant assistance to customers anytime, anywhere. Now, we both know right now that that's a lie. Most of us hate those chatbots. Number 4, digital assistants. Some of the most technologically advanced companies engage with users using digital assistants, which eliminate the need for human personnel. Here's an example. We all know that businesses have a customer service crew that must address the doubts and concerns of the patrons. Businesses can create a chatbot or voice. There goes the chatbot again. Hate the chatbots. I think you do too. New inventions. In practically every field, AI is the driving force behind numerous innovations that will aid humans in resolving the majority of challenging issues. Yeah, right. So, for example, another example of new inventions is self-driving cars. I know many of us have seen movies like iRobot. Those self-driving cars didn't really go very well. Unbiased decisions. Well, that's probably a lie. Human beings are driven by emotions, whether we like it or not. And what will drive the artificial intelligence? We're going to get into that in a moment. AI, on the other hand, is devoid of emotions and highly practical and rational in its approach. So are psychopaths. A huge advantage of artificial intelligence is that it doesn't have any biased views, which ensures more accurate decision making. An example of this is AI-powered recruitment systems that screen job applications based on skills and qualifications rather than demographics. So this may seem like, wow, we would love to have a system that's unbiased, but can we really have a machine and trust that it's not pre-programmed with biases? Number 7, performing repetitive jobs. Well, I think a lot of us don't like doing mundane things. Some of us treasure doing mundane things. Daily applications. Today, our everyday lives are entirely dependent on mobile devices and the internet. So here's an example. About 20 years ago, you must have asked someone who had already been there for instructions when you were planning a trip. All you need to do now is to ask Google where Bangalore is. The best route between you and Bangalore will be displayed along with Bangalore's location on a Google map. Listen, that's the truth. I don't know where I would be without Waze. We just moved to Florida. I am so grateful for Waze. Waze is amazing. I'm not getting paid for promoting Waze. I'm just saying that's been an amazing app. AI in risky situations. One of the benefits of artificial intelligence is this. By creating an AI robot that can perform perilous tasks on our behalf, we can get beyond many of the dangerous restrictions that humans face. For instance, the explosion at Chernobyl. Wow, that was, again, ironically in the Ukraine, as any person who came close to the core of that nuclear explosion would have perished in a matter of minutes at a time. There were no AI robots that could assist in us reducing the effects of radiation by controlling the fire in its early phases. I pray we never have that kind of a catastrophe again. Is that a benefit to AI? I don't know. There are some folks that are concerned that AI could actually be the reason for a nuclear-powered disaster. Number 10. Faster decision making. This sounds good. An example of this, faster decision making, is using AI-powered predictive analytics in financial trading, where algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data in real time and make informed investment decisions faster than human traders, resulting in improved returns and reduced risks. There are all kinds of problems with this idea, because if everyone's using AI to make these decisions and these corporations are using them, wow, I don't even know what that's going to look like. Pattern identification is another area where AI excels. With its ability to analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns and trends, AI can help businesses and organizations better understand customer behavior, market trends, and other important factors. AI has also made significant contributions to the field of medicine, with applications ranging from diagnosis and treatment to drug discovery and clinical trials. Now, there are disadvantages as well in this article, but I just want to touch on a few disadvantages, taking a look at some of the headlines. Because really, right off the bat, one of the things that we can be concerned about is that artificial intelligence will already make us as a species, especially in certain parts of the world, what might be called the developing world, the Western hemisphere of the world, the Americas, the Europe, and so on, certain parts, other parts of the world, other parts of India, like China, other parts like South Korea. Well, the parts of the developing world can become more lazy than some would say we have already become as a society, as a species. So let's take a look at some of these insane headlines that have hit the news in the past few weeks. We need to be concerned. One headline by Justine Bateman. One of the things that has been happening is that there's been a writer's strike in Hollywood. Writer, director, producer, this individual calls out the SAG actors, challenging them. Justine is challenging them to talk about AI and how it will affect them. How will AI affect the writers and the actors? Well, as a coder and someone with a computer science degree, I want to tell you where I believe AI is going. AI written scripts and digitally scanned actors, image and or voice, both already exist. Some talent agencies are actively recruiting their clients to be scanned. In other words, you have an industry that could potentially phase out all the actors, all the writers. Can you imagine that? Films customized for a viewer based on their viewing history, which has been collected for many years. Actors will have the option to have their image bought out to be used in anything. Films ordered up by the viewer. For example, I want a film about a panda and a unicorn who saved the world in a rocket ship and put Bill Murray in it. Some of you have already seen some of these AI-generated images of past presidents having conversations, AI-generated images of historical figures talking to you. It is bizarre. Some of you have started using, again, Chat GPT to go ahead and write essays, to write letters. These things are already affecting us, and what Justine Bateman is arguing is that one of the main reasons for the writers' strike is that there needs to be a security that Hollywood, those in power, won't phase out the creative individuals. Let's continue. What other issues? Well, this individual made a AI robot of themselves that anyone can date for $1 a minute. $1 a minute. Think about how desperate our world is. All the folks that already use other means for visual gratification, right? You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking in code. It rhymes with corn. And, the corn industry, well, what do you get? Now individuals can maximize this. This person apparently has a waiting list of people to use this AI robot of themselves, this digital image, for those who are desperate for some kind of intimacy, even if it is an illusion and a fantasy. Very scary world that we are going into, a world that's already pretty scary, becoming even scarier. Now this headline here, I'm just going to show it because of the algorithms and things of that nature. But this person, unfortunately, due to talking with an AI chatbot, they were emotionally, spiritually deceived. They alienated their spouse. They were alienated from their family, their life. They were pulled into a world where they were convinced to end what could have been a flourishing life. One thing here in the article that I'll read, because it's a very sad thing. As first reported by La Libre, the man, referred to as Pierre, became increasingly pessimistic about the effects of global warming and became eco-anxious, which is a heightened form of worry surrounding environmental issues. Family, if you're a Christian, you need to guard your heart, your mind. You need to help your children as well to understand that we have a stewardship responsibility over the earth, but we serve the God of abundance. We serve the God whose word never fails. We need to have a kind of realistic optimism about things now. I would say that's bare minimum. I would say a faith-filled, generated peace and joy that we are more than conquerors and that God has called us to his purposes, and that the threats against the environment and war and these other things don't stop his abundant blessings upon humanity and in our lives. But this individual had a void. After becoming more isolated from family and friends, he used Chai, apparently the name of the AI that he was speaking to, for 6 weeks as a way to escape his worries, and the chatbot he chose named Eliza became his confidant. A man's life. He was sucked into this alternate reality with this individual. If you read the article, it's very disturbing. The things that how this chatbot would respond to the man, and leading this man down this pathway of self-destruction. Very sad, very heartbreaking. But this is not where it stops. Elon Musk, who actually is trying to create his own company, another company, he was part of the original team creating the AI. Elon Musk, in an interview with Tucker Carlson, actually said that the Google co-founder, wanted to build an AI digital god. Christians, spiritual folks, we need to all be concerned. All of us need to be concerned. If you're an atheist, you need to be concerned that someone who claims to be a scientist, a technology person, would think to themselves to use this kind of language. And when Musk raised concerns, the other individual called him a speciest. Man, I didn't even know that was a word. He was a speciest. In other words, because Musk is concerned about the human race, human beings, he's a speciest. He's concerned about human beings being wiped off the face of the earth by something we created. Remember, we did that in an Avengers movie, of all things, Terminator. We have these self-predicting things that are already kind of telling us about ourselves and what we are capable of doing. He was called a speciest. That's insane. Google co-founder. This was the latest, because as I mentioned before, the fake AI images, well, this AI image of the Pentagon exploding fooled the entire world. The fake breaking news on TV, images on Twitter. Listen, all these things, they caused, on Monday, a verified Twitter account claimed that a blast occurred near the Pentagon in the U.S. The Twitter handled shared a fake image depicting an explosion near a bureaucratic-looking building. The image had clear indicators of being AI generated, but was shared by numerous verified Twitter accounts. Wow. So the misinformation went viral. But here you have it. An image of the Pentagon under attack causes panic. Artificial intelligence generated image. Here's the thing also, going back to what I said before about Justine Bateman and the writers and the actors. I remember I was working back in the day with a company, and we were working on a kind of artificial intelligence. We were trying to make this particular tool smarter. How? By feeding it information. We were constantly feeding it certain kinds of information so that it could pick up and know how to pick the right news and create things automatically. And I remember a guy came up to a coworker of mine and using expletives, adjectives that I will not share, basically said to my coworker, and I was within earshot, you know you're working yourself out of a job. This thing is going to replace you. How does that make you feel? My coworker was a bit taken aback, to say the least, and this was years ago. I'm going on 23 years of marriage, so it was at least 22, 23 years ago when that conversation happened right within earshot of me. So let's go to this piece here, because this is the other thing. As I don't know about any of you, but I've been playing around with the Chat GPT, and the scary part about it is it leans politically left. Oh, by the way, did you see that PETA, the animal rights organization, actually used Chat GPT to create its own version of the Bible that eliminated everything it didn't want to, anything that had to do with animal cruelty, anything that didn't fit its politics. It actually took the Bible and rewrote it. That is insane, right? Well, listen, Politics of AI, ChatGPT, and political bias. It is clear that right now there is a political bias. It leans toward the left. I asked for illustrations once, and all it kept spewing out were left-leaning illustrations. I could not find anything in the center, anything appropriate for the audience that I was targeting. It was all left-leaning. Again, political left. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Very progressive. Is that a problem? It's only a problem if that's the only thing it knows how to do. And we don't know if that's because of the reality that the left-leaning side of politics, of ideology, are in control for the majority of technology and media and our educational spaces. I don't know if that has anything to do with the programming, but that's just it, right? The programming comes from us. And I want to wrap up here with this thought. Spiritually speaking, where did the angels come from? The sons of God, the divine beings as they're called in Scripture. Well, there seems to be a consensus in Christianity among Christian theologians and the early church fathers and so on that God created them with infused knowledge. So in many ways, artificial intelligence is more like the angels than human beings. Human beings are born. There might be argued that within our genetics, we have a degree of knowledge, a degree of memory. We can say that we're already coming in a way pre-programmed. But with humans, you always need to argue between what really shapes us. Nature, nurture, combination of both, how much of one, how much of the other. Some Christians automatically say, hey, everything's predetermined. Okay, that's a different conversation. But definitively, artificial intelligence has about it a certain level of predetermination based on what humans put in. Remember the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. That's the principle of computers. You put in garbage, you get out garbage. So if you want something quality, you got to put quality things in. But with regards to angels, they were created with infused knowledge. And so when God created them, there's debate, there's a mystery as to why some sons of God, the angels, divine beings, the spiritual beings that he created, the cherubim, the seraphim, those folks, those wonderful creatures that are recorded in the scriptures in all kinds of shapes and forms. And why did some stay loyal to the Lord? And why did some rebel? And that's the question for us with regards to artificial intelligence. Will the advantages we think that artificial intelligence bring us outweigh the potential disaster? I've given you a bunch of headlines that for me illustrate disaster. Well, that's because human beings in our broken condition, we have a propensity to put in garbage and expect something good. Nope. We put in garbage, we get out garbage. Artificial intelligence, what will it yield to us? Remember the principle. Idolatry is a good gift that's turned into something absolute. That this good gift now consumes us. It's our center. It becomes our master. We dare not live without it. That is an idol. An idol is anything we find security and meaning in other than God. Think about what that means. For some of us, it's our job, our families. For some of us, it's our national identity, our little tribal identity. We have so many idols. Even as Christians, we struggle with having a clear space and place in our life where Jesus is the center and he is Lord, and there are no other competing isms, schisms, no other place where we're coveting something more than desiring to know God, be known by God, and be transformed by God. Time will tell whether or not artificial intelligence is birthed from a place of our own intelligence and sophistication, being that we are made in the image of God, or whether or not we've finally arrived in a place where we are partnering with the enemy of our souls to create that which will set our entire world on fire. What are we to do as Christians? Be aware, be cautious, pay attention, pray. Jesus said it, watch and pray. Not because of artificial intelligence, but because our flesh is weak. But the good news, our spirit is willing, and God infuses us by his grace and truth with strength, peace, joy, so that we can keep being the light of the world, that he can continue lighting up the world through us. Family, what do you think about artificial intelligence? Please leave a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, go on ahead and share this video. Let's get a conversation going about artificial intelligence. And remember, there's no place, no reason to be pessimistic. If you are a Christian, you have the hope that Jesus is Lord now, and death never has the final word. Family, God bless. Thanks for being here.